have forever to play this game, James. You know the NFL colloquially stands for not for long.
Yes,
Dak Prescott
sir.
has obviously played for longer than most, and he will continue to play at a high level. You know Mike McCarthy, the head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, well. You know that offense, you know that system, you know what's going on in Dallas. Should Dak feel more urgency going into the season, into the playoffs? He's lost several games. He's won a few games as well. What kind of urgency should he be feeling?
Absolutely. Right? You 30, you ain't getting no younger, but not only that, your team is built the right way. It's not like you're on a bad team and Dak Prescott is the star and you got to win a bunch of games. So your team is built the right way. You got a top 5 defense. You had 7 Pro Bowlers on your team last year, and you added Brandon Cooks. Yeah. You add Stephon Gilmore. Like, you added some superstars, right? If you play better in the playoffs last year, your team is headed to Philly. You know, and who knows what's going to happen in that game. So absolutely the urgency is up because your team is built the right way and you didn't play the way you felt like you should have played last year. And when you do this year, then the Cowboys got themselves a chance. But it is absolutely, the urgency is up. It is time to go because this team is built the right way around Dak Prescott, and he has to get his team there.
Nah. He's a Cowboy for life. He's 30 years old.
Cowboy for life.
30 years old is the new 25 quarterbacks. I don't know if you know that, especially when it comes to winning a Super Bowl.
You're right.
I mean, who we got? Tom Brady at 43 won a Super Bowl.
Oh my God!
When the last time the
Cowboys have
Cowboys?
mercy, God forbid it.
When the last time the Cowboys been to a Super Bowl?
Oh, well, that's
The
forever.
urgency is up.
Are we putting that on Dak?
No, I'm just saying.
You know, at some point, you just kind of go, oh, this is just the way it is. Like, you don't count on getting to the Super Bowl. No. I mean, financially, where he is, they can't afford to just kick him to the curb.
Of course not.
Like, they're kind of stuck. They've married this cat, and there is no divorce without it being uber expensive. So it sounds good. I'm turning 30. Yeah, I really need to get it more. But look, there are a lot of other sacred cows that are going to go. And you can just ask anybody who's on Joy's social media feed, like all the Cowboy fans. They're not out there. They're not going to be out there with torches and pitchforks, like, get Dak up out of here. We're done. Like, that's not going to happen. So as much as it sounds good, I'm turning 30. I need to get it done. And, James, you make all the point. Like, I agree with you. Like, he should feel that urgency. But to me, like, Justin Fields and Trey Lance and Russell Wilson, all of those cats have to be feeling more urgency because they got more at stake than Dak does.
Man, I was holding back. I lost track of all the jokes in there. Not what you said.
No.
You know, responses. Yeah, of course, Dak should feel some urgency this season. Now, I agree with you. Nothing's going to change. One, because Cowboys fans think they're going to win the Super Bowl every single year, and as we all know, they never come close. So, you know, as far as Cowboys fans go, they're perfectly comfortable winning the division. You know, if they beat a couple divisional opponents, they beat the Eagles, you know, they make it to the playoffs. That's a nice season for them, and that's good enough for them. I mean, it has been for like 3 decades almost. So, as far as, you know, the fan base turning on Dak, that's not going to happen. They're perfectly comfortable with the level of play that they're getting from Dak Prescott. They make that very clear. I think Jerry is as well. And, you know, there's something to be said for that, you know. It's, they are a loyal organization. You can be loyal to a fault. So I do think that the pressure is more on Mike McCarthy this year because he's taking over play calling, and you know, there is a bit of a sense of when is Dak going to deliver all the way in the postseason. And maybe, you know, we've made these adjustments. We've brought in other players. We've brought in Brandon Cooks. We've brought in some high-level players. Not that they didn't have a bunch last year, but, hey, you could always use more. But as far as the sense of urgency goes, I think it's more about the NFC than it is about everything that they have going on. Because really, when you look around the NFC, it's light.
It's very light.
It's very light. It's very light compared to the AFC.
Can't get no light.
So it can't really get lighter than it is right now. Now, I think there will be a team that emerges as much better than we think that they are, just looking at the landscape and what's on paper right now.
Always does.
But, yeah, but like this is a year, I mean, every year we come up with a new excuse why the Cowboys don't win, but this is a year where it's like, like you should probably get it done. Now, nothing's going to happen, of course, because it's the Cowboys. And like I said, it's a lot of money, and they don't care. They do this every year.
If you don't get it done now, I don't know when you will get it done. I think this is Dak Prescott's second best chance. 2016 was a phenomenal chance. And if y'all recall, 2016, you had a young Zeke. You had a phenomenal offensive line, Tyron Smith.
But he was a rookie, though.
Zach, well, he was a rookie. But I'm just saying that was his best chance.
Yeah.
We didn't realize at the time, but that was his best chance. Outside of that, this team is phenomenal.
Yes.
Not only is this team phenomenal, but you get the perfect timing of your team is great and the NFC is weak.
Yes.
Like, how do those stars align in such magnificent fashion? Team is great, NFC is weak. But here is really the stat that's most mind-blowing to me, because this is the extensive list. This is the fully extensive list of quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls with the team that drafted them after the age of 30 if they didn't win before. Quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls with the teams that drafted them, it's Peyton Manning, and that is it.
That's it.
If you don't win a Super Bowl before turning 30 with the team that drafted you, you're not doing it unless your name is Peyton Manning.
Wow.
And so when you really think about it, and really this is probably the most sobering statistic a Cowboys fan could hear, because outside of Peyton Manning, you only also have Matt Ryan. He obviously didn't win, but he went in year 9. Essentially, that is to say, if you are going to go, and James, you know this because you saw Rodgers went in year 6, year 3 as a starter. If you're going to go, you likely would have gone by now. That's why I tell Bills fans all the time, like, hey, if y'all don't go no time soon, don't think you're ever going. Ravens fans. If y'all don't go sometime soon, you're probably not ever going. Chargers fans. Y'all got about 3 more years to go, or you're likely not going, because there is a new herd of talented QBs, JJ, coming. So that's where I'm like, yo, Dak has to feel the pressure now.
No doubt. And it's crazy you say that, because we used to look at the NFC too. When we was rolling, we like, yeah, we going again. Yeah, like I was telling my family, hey, don't even buy no tickets for this NFC Championship. Go meet me at the Super Bowl. We going, right? It is time right now. You have the right team. The NFC is weak. It is time right now to go. If they don't get it done within these next 2 years, you are right. They ain't going. And Dak Prescott might be on another team. They are not going. It is time right now, and that is why the urgency is up. The Dallas Cowboys players and coaching staff are looking Niners, Eagles. And who knows?
Niners don't even know who has.
But I'm just saying, they might have to play each other in the playoffs and knock each other. Who knows? But that is the teams that you are looking at that you can clearly say that can beat you when they walk out on that football field.
I got a question for you before we got to head to break. 2011, y'all won the Super Bowl. I think it was 10-11 season, something like that. By 2000 and the year after y'all won the Super Bowl, y'all were 15-1.
Come on, don't.
I'm not going to turn the knife. I'm not going to turn the knife. But I need you to bring the viewer in here. Obviously, y'all were 15-1, didn't win the Super Bowl. That's not the point of this. The point is, did you know in 2011, I believe you had Rodgers, I believe you had Jermichael Finley, I believe you had Greg Jennings, maybe Jordy Nelson, maybe Randall Cobb was just getting there. You had James Starks at running back. I think on defense, by then you would have had Clay Matthews. You probably still had A.J. Hawk.
Eddie Lacy.
You had guys. You had guys. Did you know that, like, this is the time? Because also in the NFC, the Niners were not yet the Niners because they were figuring out the Kaepernick, Alex Smith situation of it all. So we didn't know if Cap was going to send to who he was. Did you know, like, hey, let's go get another one real quick?
We knew. And it was crazy because after we won it, we're looking at everybody on the roster and we like, dang, we young. My contract ain't coming up for a minute. Jordy ain't coming up for a minute. Randall, a young player. James Starks, a young player. Eddie Lacy, a young player. Jermichael Finley, a young player. Nobody coming up for no contracts, right? We got Clay not coming up for B.J. Raji. Everybody's young. We finna run 3-4 of these things off, right? And then the next season we come out, we hot, we go 15, we 13-0, and we ain't talked about going undefeated the whole time. Coach Mike comes in the team meeting and he says, what everybody been waiting on him to say, we going for it, undefeated. The next week we get slapped by Kansas City. so that's out. But looking at the roster and the way we were playing and the way we were built, we finna run these things off. And we only ended up winning one. The luck of the draw. Right, we just didn't make plays when we had to make plays. We got home playoff games, we in NFC championship games at home, and we play our worst football. And that's football. We ain't play our best. And that's everybody across the board and didn't get it done. And we had our opportunities to go, and it didn't happen.
Chris Paul is looking to get it done in Golden State, where he is just gone. He's shaking up the landscape of the National Basketball Association. But he had a quote that leads me to believe there will be major chaos in the Bay this coming season. You have to hear it. That's next on Speak.
Subscribe here to get the latest from Speak, and go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.